time I get the kings together, the whole session turns into some sort of who's got the biggest castle? I thought King Francis was quite dishy too, but we must be professional. Anyway, he seems to take a right shine to Elizabeth. I'm thinking of introducing her to Victoria.
This is very exciting.
I wanted to talk to you without male distraction.
I'm having trouble of late with a certain Tory politician. Every time I open my mouth, I get patronised by one of those boorish louts. So I suppose what I want is a few hints and tips on getting my own way.
I would like to introduce you to Queen Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us. I've asked you to join this session because Victoria here is experiencing some difficulties with a certain politician.
Men are basically like puppies. If they are well behaved, you give them a treat. And if they are naughty, then you rub their noses in it.
This is going really well. I'm going to let in our next queen, so thank you.
Who are you? I'm very busy. This had better be important. So, what treasonous plan do you have up your sleeve?
Well, I was so close. First, he tried to marry me off to one of his mates, and when I said no, he offered to poison my husband. And that's why I don't like being called English woman. Your grandfather, William, who, let me tell you, is a bit of a bully, calls me English woman because he can't be bothered to learn my name. Your grandfather, and your grandson John have both been a right royal pain in the... Well, they've not been as sympathetic to this project as I had hoped.
I see. So you expect sympathy from men?
I expect them to show respect and to treat people equally.
Really? Well, good luck with that. The only way to get equal with men is to beat them at their own game.
Or to trick them into doing what you want.
Defeat them, break them.
Flatter them and fool them.
Outfight them.
Outsmart them.
Yes, this is brilliant stuff.
Hang on, I'm not sure if this is good advice, Victoria.
Well, all I can tell you is this. I should have been Queen of England. The nobles of England swore an oath that I was my father's heir. Some of them swore twice. Twice, I tell you. But then, when my father died and when push came to shove, they backed my cousin Stephen to be king because he was a man. I was an empress, and still the noblemen of England let him usurp me.
And how did that make you feel?
Make an educated guess.
Hello. I just thought that I'd formally introduce myself since Dr. Cat has so far failed to do so. I am Queen Victoria. Now you may introduce yourself.
I am the Empress Matilda, daughter and heir of King Henry I. When my English nobles betrayed me by supporting my cousin Stephen's inferior claim to the throne, I raised an army. I invaded England and I fought for what was rightfully mine.
Oh, how exciting. Remind me again, how did it go?
Well, there was a civil war known as the Anarchy. Of course, the nobles of England switched sides according to who they thought would give them the best deal. Traitors!
Why didn't you just set them off against one another?
I did, but my rival Stephen gave in to their every wish. Oh, do you want more land? Oh, you've got it. Oh, do you want a title? Oh, there you go, my lord. He was such a soft touch.
And what about you?
Well, they saw me as a bit more results orientated. I knew if I gave in to them, I would lose all my power. So I stayed aloof. I made them bow to me. I let them know who was in charge.
And how did that work out?
Well, not great, to be honest. I was accused of being too arrogant.
And were you?
Look, when a king sticks up for his rights, they say he's being strong. When a queen does it, they say she's what's the term?
A goddess.
No.
Heroine?
Not quite. They said I was a she-devil, a bully, A woman trying to be a man, as if. They said I was unfit to rule.
Who did?
Well, the men who write history. His story. Monks, most of them. They never even met me. What do they know?
I think we're exploring some really interesting territory here. So, what is it that unites our queens? Do you have a sense of your place in history?
I'm very well aware. I'm written out of a lot of history books. So I guess despite the fact that I should be a lasting example and a role model to girls for my tenacity and utter belief in myself, I'm probably forgotten.
Well, I think I'm a role model too. The Golden Age, Shakespeare, the Armada and all that. Happy days. Plus, of course, they named my reign after me. The Elizabethan era. It's got a lovely ring to it, hasn't it?
Yes, and I'll give my name to an age, the Victorians.
I lead armies into battle.
I make a lovely speech to mine at Tilbury, dreadful place.
Wonder how Albert's plans are coming along.
My son will be one of England's greatest kings and have an empire.
This is all great, but can we just get back to...
We've all got empires, dear. I see captains rule the waves.
Okay, but we're not in competition, are we?
The sun never sets on mine, as I said, much
All
bigger
right,
than yours.
that's enough, queens. Do you remember saying you didn't want to be like the boys? Well, you are doing exactly what they do. Let's see if we can explore a less male-centric view of history, shall we?
What?
Just because you're monarchs, you don't have to act like one of the lads.
Well, if I had ruled, I would have united England and laid the foundations for a great empire. England would have had peace and security and the rule of law and prosperity. I understood what it meant to rule. I had experience of negotiating with kings and popes. I led armies across the Alps. I thrived in the cut and thrust of international politics, and I still had time to have a family.
Me too, apart from the Alps.
Let's just refocus for a moment on what we're trying to do here. Let's work together for a common purpose by exploring what it is to be a queen. So, Matilda, what does being a queen mean to you?
Well, technically, I was never crowned queen. I was crowned as the Empress of the Holy Roman Empire, and I was appointed as regent of Italy by my first husband when he was away. I was a trusted advisor. I was a valued ally and support to both of my husbands. And then I championed my son's cause and helped him get the crown of England.
That's interesting. But what about you?
Well, in my age, being a woman meant being a daughter, a wife, and a mother. I broke out of that to be powerful in my own right. Well, that doesn't necessarily make you popular, but it worked. My family ruled England for more than 350 years. Get it?
When we Tudors took over, it was a bit of a bumpy ride. My dad was executing people left, right and centre, including my dear mother, Anne Boleyn. A woman of more wit and intelligence than most of his advisors put together. A woman who stuck to her guns, who championed new learning, and who wouldn't be pushed about just because she was the king's wife.
But what does being queen mean to you personally?
Being adored by everybody. Using my image to establish my authority and getting the boys to do my dirty work, taking the credit if it goes well and while blaming them if it doesn't.
This is so useful.
Victoria, don't forget, this is therapy. You don't have to act on anything we discuss. This is a neutral space.
But this is so inspiring, Dr. Cat. I can't wait for Albert to come back. He won't know what's hit him.
I think you'll have a pretty good idea.
Shush, he's coming. Hello, my angel. How is the planning coming along?
Oh, you know, the British, the workmen hum and ha and tut a lot when you make suggestions, but then they get on with it. Don't worry, I've sorted it out. Oh, Hello, Dr. Cat. How pleasant. My dear, I was not aware that we had a session today.
My darling Albert, I would like to introduce you to some of my new friends. Queen Elizabeth.
Charmed, I'm sure. Oh, your whiskers, they're lovely. Very royal looking.
Oh, I thank you. You are too kind. Prince Albert at your service, ma'am.
Oh! See, easy.
And this is Empress Matilda.
Ma'am, I am honored.
You're German. Sehr gut.
Danke. So, what have you ladies been talking about? The joys of motherhood?
No, yuck!
We've been discussing the exercise of power.
Oh, I see. My dear, I don't know if I approve of your new friends. Perhaps we should leave. Where is the button?
No, Albert. I'm in charge here and I give the orders.
I'm only trying to protect you from bad influences. You know how stressed this sort of thing makes you. Let me deal with these ladies.
Albert, I'm doing fine by myself. I don't need you to hold my hand for everything, you know.
Well said.
Now hook him.
Yes, right you are.
Oh!
No, not like that. Compliment him.
Oh, I see. You are a big, strong man and very clever too. And I know that you only want to help poor, busy me. But you'll just have to trust me. You do trust me, don't you, my angel?
Well, of course, my darling, I trust you completely.
So, you'll let me stay and chat with my friends.
I'm not sure that would be wise, Liebling.
Now reel him in.
I have another important job for you. I've just received this letter, in fact, about the state of the drains in Windsor Castle, a vital matter of health and sanitation. I wonder, my dear, could you deal with it? I think it needs a man's touch.
Yes, a good idea. Ladies, if you will excuse me, I have work to do.
Well done, dear.
Textbook stuff.
Well, thank you, ladies, for your sound advice. I have to say that I am a great admirer of all of you, even you, Dr. Cat. I suppose I am lucky that I have my Albert, but should something awful happen to him in his old age, I must be able to choose the clothes I wear in the mornings by myself. Now, in terms of that pesky politician, I've come to realize this. It is not what they think of me that matters, but what I think of them.
Hear, hear.
Excellent.
Right. Well, I'm glad that we feel like we've progressed. Perhaps we can leave it there and think about what we've learned. Come back to this later. Much later.
Hello, dear viewers of Monarchs Anonymous. I am very excited about my new project. The drains at Windsor Castle have not seen action since William the Conqueror's time. But that is not why I'm here. Of course, I'm here to say thank you very much for subscribing and liking and all your lovely comments for Monarchs Anonymous. We appreciate it very much indeed. Now, you'll notice that our GoFundMe page is still open. That is because we are trying to bring as many monarchs to the Monarchs Anonymous as we can. So we appreciate all your donations, even though we are beyond our target. Thank you very much. Now, make sure that you hit the little bell at the corner of the screen in order to be informed when a new episode of Monarchs Anonymous is out. All is left to say is thank you very much for watching Monarchs Anonymous. Auf Wiedersehen.
I knew if I gave in to them, I would lose all my power.
Sorry, your crown fell off.